Not every car manufacturer started out big. Some were born out of crises. Others had to change their names just to survive. And some didn't even start out making cars at all. The brands we know today weren't always what they are now. Before dominating the streets and racetracks, many went through unexpected twists and turns that few people know about. In this series, we're diving into the most surprising facts about the history of car manufacturers. And today, you're going to find out how one brand started by building tanks, another was founded by a race car driver, and a third had to change its name to escape the war. Get ready for 5 more fascinating facts about the companies that shaped the automotive industry. Fact 1: Honda and the motorized bicycles. Today, Honda is a global giant in the automotive industry and the world leader in motorcycles. But in the beginning, the company was nothing like what we know today. Post-war Japan was in ruins. Vehicles were scarce, transportation was unreliable, and the economy was devastated. In the midst of this chaos, Soichiro Honda came up with a simple but brilliant idea, attaching surplus military generator engines to bicycles. The result? A cheap, efficient, and accessible means of transportation for the people. The idea worked so well that within a few years, Honda started manufacturing its own engines and designing its first motorcycles. The first major breakthrough came with the Dream D-Type, a motorcycle that established Honda as an innovative manufacturer. Only after this success did the company decide to enter the automobile market. What began as a simple motorized bicycle evolved into one of the most respected brands in the automotive world. Today, Honda engines power not just cars and motorcycles, but also jets, boats, and even robots. And to think it all started with a small engine strapped to a bicycle. Fact 2: Chevrolet, founded by a race car driver. Chevrolet is one of the most popular car brands in the world, known for its powerful, rugged, and affordable vehicles. But what many people don't know is that the company was founded by a race car driver. Louis Chevrolet was a Swiss-born speed enthusiast. In the early 20th century, he made a name for himself as both a mechanic and a driver, competing in races across the United States and gaining attention for his skills on the track. That's when William Durant, the founder of General Motors, saw an opportunity. He believed Chevrolet's name was perfect for a new brand of sporty yet affordable cars. In 1911, the two founded the Chevrolet Motor Company with the goal of building cars that balanced performance and price, something Chevrolet, as a racer, valued deeply. But disagreements soon followed. Durant wanted to focus on mass-market models, while Chevrolet was committed to performance. The result? Louis Chevrolet sold his stake in the company and never got rich from the brand that bears his name. He returned to racing and spent the following years developing high-performance engines for race cars. Meanwhile, Chevrolet grew into one of the world's largest automakers, a legacy that started on the track and still carries racing DNA today in models like the Camaro and Corvette. Fact 3: Maserati, a family of racers' dream. Maserati is synonymous with luxury and exclusivity, but it wasn't always a brand of high-end cars for millionaires. In fact, its roots are on the racetrack. The story begins with the Maserati brothers Alfieri, Ettore, Ernesto, and Bindo. Passionate about mechanics and motorsports, they started building cars with one goal: to compete. In 1914, they founded Officine Alfieri Maserati, a small workshop dedicated to crafting high-performance engines and race cars. During the 1920s and 1932, Maserati cars started dominating European competitions. They were fast, aggressive, and reliable, quickly earning a reputation among top drivers. But the big turning point came in 1937, when the Maserati brothers sold the company to the Orsi family. Under new management, the brand kept its focus on racing, but also set its sights on the luxury car market. That's when Maserati evolved from a pure racing brand into a manufacturer of sophisticated street cars. As for its iconic trident logo, it traces back to Maserati's hometown, Bologna. It was inspired by the statue of Neptune, the god of the sea, symbolizing power, speed, and dominance. Today, Maserati still carries its racing DNA but has transformed into one of the most exclusive luxury brands in the world. A journey that started with the passion of four brothers and a workshop dedicated to speed. Fact 4: Jaguar changed its name because of the war. Jaguar is one of the most elegant and respected automotive brands in the world, known for its powerful and sophisticated cars. But what most people don't know is that before World War II, the company had a completely different name. In the 1920 and 1930, the British automaker was called SS Cars and specialized in high-performance vehicles inspired by race cars of the time. The name was an abbreviation of Swallow Sidecar Company, as the business originally started by making motorcycle sidecars. But when World War II broke out, a major issue arose. The initials SS became associated with Germany's Nazi troops, the Schutzstaffel. After the war ended, the company realized that keeping the name SS cars could be a disaster for its reputation. So in 1945, they made a crucial decision to rebrand as Jaguar, a name already used on one of their sports car models. The choice wasn't random. The Jaguar is one of the fastest and deadliest predators in nature, a perfect symbol for the brand's agile and powerful cars. Today, Jaguar is synonymous with luxury and performance. But if the company had never changed its name, would it have achieved the same success? Fact 5: Nissan and the war tanks. Today, Nissan is one of the most innovative automakers in the world, producing everything from legendary sports cars like the GTR to futuristic electric vehicles. But in the past, the company played a very different role. In war, during World War II, Nissan wasn't just making civilian cars. The company was one of the Japanese government's main suppliers, producing military vehicles, trucks, and even war tanks. With Japan's economy fully dedicated to the war effort, Nissan operated almost exclusively for the armed forces. Its armored vehicles were used by the Japanese army in multiple battles across Asia. But after Japan's defeat in 1945, Nissan had to reinvent itself. Military production was shut down, and the company had to rebuild its reputation as a civilian car manufacturer. It was in the 1950 and 1960 that Nissan found its new identity, launching affordable and reliable models under the Datsun brand. One of the company's first major successes was the Datsun 510, a car that helped Nissan establish itself as a global powerhouse. From war tanks to street cars, Nissan went through a complete transformation. And today, instead of building vehicles for the battlefield, it dominates the streets and racetracks around the world. Every car manufacturer has a unique story. Some started small and grew over time. Others had to reinvent themselves to survive. Some even built military vehicles before becoming icons on the streets and racetracks. But this was just part 3. There are still plenty of fascinating stories about automakers' pasts. Want to know which brand used to build trains? Or which one was on the verge of bankruptcy before becoming a global success? Then stay tuned for part 4 of this series. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episodes. See you in the next one.